if you need to like speak out, please speak out. There was a time I felt depressed. So at that time, I mean, I was going to the library, I wasn't understanding anything. I was going to class, it was just like in class, I was listening, I wasn't understanding, nothing was entering my head. I told my mom, I was like, I do not have the mental capacity to go and face any academic stress right now. And with the way I told my mom, she knew that I was actually ready, and I meant it. Like I meant it with. I was like, I'm the one that didn't want to have an extra year. And I told them I was ready. It's like you are pained, but then you now fuel. It's like a channeling the energy of that pain, the severity of that pain into you doing more. My brother taught me something. He was like, when you're not happy, when things are not going well, go to God's presence and cry. Like just channel that experience, just tell God and just be vulnerable.
There was a conversation we had one time, and you were talking about the fact that there was a time in your life that you actually thought about pausing school.
Yes.
So I could relate to that as a student, as an undergraduate.
Okay.
But now, in retrospect, like you came top of your class and you had that idea. Like I think some people might just find it weird to think about that. Really, like people that are up there academically, people think that they might not necessarily find academics challenging in any way. So how was that for you? Because somebody asked me one time that, what if I'm not happy with my grades? What should I do? I told her that, see, I'm having a guest this week and I'm going to ask her that question.
Okay, if you're not happy with your grades, what
yes, and how were you able to navigate like that mental space of having been overwhelmed with academics?
Okay, so I think there are two different questions now. I'm going to answer the question of me getting to a point where I said I wanted to like take a pause, and it was really a serious time in my life. And then the other aspect of how to reply or better still, how to like respond when you do not have your expected grades. So at that time, I was about preparing for my language immersion program, my French language immersion program, and there was just an holiday, like the Christmas holiday just before then, and I would say that I went through a sort of a very very unpleasant situation. Personally, I like to say that not that I like to say that I consider it as emotional abuse as at that time, and it really affected me. Like I'll say it affected me even psychologically. Like I wasn't balanced, so it affected me so much that I needed to resume on January 3rd, 3rd or 4th, right? And those stuff just, happened a few days to then. And so I just told my parents, I told my mom, and I just told her, I was like, I'm going to have an extra year. I told her.
Wow.
I told her that because then I was down, like I was very down. I was so down. And I knew that I needed time to recuperate. I knew that it wasn't a thing. And I told my mom, I was like, I do not have mental capacity to go and face any academic stress right now. Because I knew that if I just go without healing, like without healing emotionally, without healing mentally, I knew that, it was not just going to work. So I told her, I was like, I want to have an extra year. I was like, because I had thought about it and I just decided that no. Because for me, as at then, I felt like I needed nothing less than 3 months break for me to be able to heal. And then I told her, I was like, I'm not that is telling you, I'm not that will write the letters, I'm not that will do the errands. And I told her that I was ready for it.
Wow.
So
that was like really personal.
Yeah, it was very personal.
Like an emotional breakdown, totally.
Yeah, it was an emotional I broke down that I could not attend New Year's service.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the only New Year that's the only New Year that I never went to church. Yeah, I can remember. It was just so bad. Like I was just lying on the bed. I could not do anything. I could not stand. I could not help my parents. I could not do anything. It was very bad. And I'm the person that even when I'm sick, I'm still up and doing.
You're very active.
You would not know unless I tell you that okay, I have malaria or anything. I was just down. I was not. It was very bad. So I told them. I told my mom, and then my mom told my dad. And with the way I told my mom, she knew that I was actually ready, and I meant it. Like I meant it with. I was like, I'm the one that wants to have an extra year. And I told them I was ready. So, where my dad head?
I know, like for you to be that serious, a student, like your parents were aware of your grades, your progression, and all.
It was a serious time for me. Wow. I mean, it was a very, very, very serious time. So, I mean, I learned my lessons. I had my boundaries and a whole lot. But then, that was how my dad came. My dad and my mom came, and then they started counseling me. And they were like,
sorry, this is. Yeah, you have almost been just slightly abstract because I'm very careful because I know sensitive matters are very.
I feel like I've used
because I'm like, is it like, because I wanted to like have an idea of the emotional breakdown. Is it like men matter or like just general? Not general. I don't want to generalize your pain now, but like how can you give us like a hint of how it was, and for just to give people a background of what language immersion program is. You're a language person, but
okay.
I think people might not necessarily
understand what language immersion program is. Okay, so language immersion program is basically our year abroad program. You'd have heard people say year abroad. Yeah. So in layman's term, I think I'll just say like it's like our H.A.P.I.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it is actually done normally for people who have a 4-year course, which is normal standard. It is you always do it in your 3rd year of school. That's just the penultimate year of your penultimate year. So if you are studying just French, you do you have your language immersion program for the whole session. That's 2 semesters. If you are doing just Portuguese, you have it for the whole session. But if you are combining, you have a semester for a language, then the other semester for the other language.
Still 1 session, but 2 languages.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, I had my first semester for French language immersion program, that's French year abroad. Then the 2nd semester for Portuguese year abroad.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's a lot anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like it affected me more then because I was already mentally tired. Because before then, I mean, I was trying to like save money, work, and do a lot of stuff. So I was already very, very tired before I embarked on that journey. I mean, it was a very serious, it was a very serious one, and it really made me understand what lots of women go through in marriages, what a lot of women go through.
So it's kind of like a relationship matter.
Yes, exactly. So, and then I made certain decisions in my life as at then and all of that. So, but I mean, I was able to. My parents encouraged me, and then my classmates were to leave. I think they were to leave. I think the following day or 2 days after. I think they were to leave on Monday or Sunday. I can't remember exactly. And then I had not packed my stuff. it was so bad. I don't pack
like you were demotivated.
I don't packed anything. I had not bought anything. It was just a old story. I had not bought anything. So I just stood. I was like, I'm not even ready. So that was when my dad was like, no, don't worry. Can you come? We're going to charter a car for you that will take you there. And I was like, really? So they just like rally around. And then he was like, no, all of us just consider us as your servants. So anything you want us to do, just let us know.
I think, and my dad was like, things like that. In retrospect, you can remind your dad, Daddy, do you remember what he said?
Well, just so you know, like, it was really serious. And my parents knew that I was very, very serious that aspect. So, I mean, they prayed for me, they counseled me, and I mean, they gave me all the support I needed at that time. And I would say that God really helped me, and God really healed me from that pain and hurt because it was a very, very good time.
Yes. So, concerning those that want advice, if you're not happy with it.
Yeah. So, I basically have certain mindsets for myself, and one is that I hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. I do my best. Like, I try to do my best as much as possible. So, and then before addressing that, I would like to say that there are different reasons for failure. Okay. There are a whole lot. So, but when I fail, or for instance, when I got my worst grade in school, what I did.
What is your worst grade? For a high, I
guess.
Maybe C or B.
Yeah, it was a C actually.
Wow.
So, but it was a lot for me.
Yeah, because I know you wanted 5 points.
But the thing is, when I do not do as I want, what I did, I ask what exactly I did wrong.
Okay.
Then I change, and then I try to see if it's something I can correct.
Okay. Maybe reading style or
could be reading. It could be. Now, when I add my worst grade, I had issues with about 1, 2, 3 results. Yes, I had issues with about 3 results. Yeah, I had issues with 3. I was able to resolve 2. I didn't resolve 1. I wasn't able to resolve 1, and I will tell you why.
Okay.
So For my worst grade, I had that result because I was fearful. I went to the exam hall with fear.
Oh,
I carried fear throughout the semester for that course.
okay. Was it
Right.
like they bad-mouthed the course already?
Yeah, it was more or less like because many people even carried over the course, and then when we had when the lecturer gave us an assignment, I didn't do well, so that was already like so I already had my expectation. I knew what I wanted, and then when I said I was like, oh no, 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 if I go with this score, and then the whole course was just a course of tension and everything and all of that. So I went into the exam hall with fear. I was writing and my hands were shaking. It got to a time I went blank. I cancelled. It was just because of fear. Because it gave us one of the questions he even gave us was a question he had given us as an assignment.
Oh wow.
So, but I was just fearful. I made a lot of mistakes. After I cried, like, so I knew already that I was not going to do well in the exam. So, and I made up my mind that never ever with anything make write an examination with fear. When I go to write exams, I go to write the exams like I'm going to a classroom and I'm going to just write what's called like a classwork. You get so I just take it as I just know that no, this is just like a part of life. So I don't take it as almighty exam. Like and then I also learned to always eat. I eat before I go to the exam. There are a lot of reasons why students fail. I eat before I go to the exam, so that if anything happens, your body system will still be coordinated. If you do not eat, if you see the question and the question is not what you're expecting, I mean everything you will have on your head by
Oh
you
my
just
God.
like
Yeah.
just fly away. So I tell people if you want to fast before your exam period. Then some people get sick during exam. You could even be brilliant. If you get sick during the exam and you're not feeling fine, there's no how you're going to write well. Some people do not sleep. For me, I sleep before I go to the exam hall. But when I was in my work, I had slept in the exam hall before and I could not control it. Yes. So some people sleep in the exam hall, some people feel dozy and they are not able to write as they ought to write. The results come out and they do not perform as they ought to, not because they are not brilliant. So there are different reasons. So I actually like try to trace what happened. And then for some people's issue is that they do not read instructions. Some people come out of the exam hall and they say, "Oh yes, multi-portion, like they are done and everything." But
Everything is
really,
check,
if you
check,
go back, I mean, lecturers are the best people to actually say what they actually experienced when they are marking scripts. What's because someone was still telling me, I think last week or so, yeah, not last week or this week, that many of those when you are given a paper of 3 hours and then by 2 hours you were done and you thought you had finished and you got all the answers, whereas you didn't answer like 2 questions. Did you read the instructions well? So at the end of the day, you come out with a B or a C, and then you are saying that they didn't give you, you got it. I mean, and then for me, the same lecturer whom I got a C in school, it took me the following semester and I got an A. So as at that time, I just told myself that no, seriously, fear is not going to make me. I'm not going to write any exam with fear. So I calm myself down. I tell myself, I mean, I'm not the first person that will write this. I'm not the last person, and then I'm going to like do so well. Then so for some people, because I've like I've been through a lot. In part one second semester, I had it being a course I should have had an hearing. I had a 60 hit.
That's
Now
painful though.
yeah, it's painful. The issue was that one of my CAs was not recorded. And the thing I do as a person is I keep all my test scripts, my assignments, I keep all of them so that I still have them in my house. So if any I mean now I'm already done, but I was like, in case anything happens, I can easily go and photocopy and all. So as I did not check my results on time. If I had checked my result immediately it was released, and I saw that I had a 68, I would have quickly gone to fetch my test script, photocopy them, and show them. I would have shown them to the lecturer. So I went, I think, about 2 weeks, and then by the time I went there, she told me there was nothing she could do anymore. I don't know because for me, I feel like there was still something she could have done, right? But I felt like if I had gone earlier, that could have. So it wasn't one of my friends that asked me, like, okay, what was your result? And then I told him, I think I told him I had not checked. And he was like, go and check. And then I realized I got a 60. And I was like, you know what you did was just stupid. And then, first of all, I was angry. I called, he said what I did was stupid. I was like, well, wait, what I actually did was stupid because it was a 4 unit course. Yeah, it was a 4 unit course. So people fail for different reasons. Now, second, part two, first semester, we only did a CA, and the CA was about 20. So it also have been doubled. Mine wasn't doubled. So I got a 17/20. It wasn't doubled. And so what did I do? I had kept my script. And what happened? The lecturer, relocated immediately after this the semester. So it was even like it was complicated. But what did I do? I photocopied and then I told my HOD then and all of that. Because there are certain things that you can control as a student, but there are certain things you cannot control. You cannot control your exam. You cannot, an examination script is already like the property of the department. So if you are calling for your exam script, you really do not have enough evidence for you to be able to prove that you really did what you did. Because most times, or don't let me say most times, sometimes the fault might have actually been from you. But for your CA and your assignment script, they are your personal evidences. So if anything was made from them, you can easily present them and say, oh, there was a mistake here, there was a mistake here, and the evidence is there and it can easily be corrected. So I went and then he told me that he could not like assure me, but it was eventually corrected. You get, so there are different reasons why people fail. So you must actually like know why. And then for some people, I know a person who realized that when she focused more on academics, she did better. But when part one, part two, she felt like, oh, she was on first class, and then part three she went into business and her grades dropped. So if your grades drop, or you not get what or you not get what you actually ought to have gotten in a course, try to analyze the problem. Where was it from? And then try to like see. And sometimes I know that yes, I've just done my best, and this course just like came out like this. So I just know that it's just like that. But most times or sometimes there are certain things that we can control ourselves. I'll just tell the person to really analyze. Sometimes you can just think about. So for some people, they might realize that okay, it's because I'm living in town. That doesn't mean. The president of my department, for instance, live in town throughout. Right? But for some people, when they are in an academic environment, they would do better than having to like go and come. So we just have different what's it called? We are different, and then the way we read, the way the strategies we need to like put in place for us to be able to succeed differ. And then there are certain times that you need to sacrifice certain things. There's certain things I did not do then because I wanted my grade. You get, so just about analyzing what exactly caused the not so good result, and then see how you can be better. If you need to seek for help, seek for help. If you need to go for tutorial, go for tutorial. At the end of the day, the results will be yours.
Yeah.
Regardless
of how the process was, good process anyway.
Good process, yeah. And then another thing I always tell people is, personally, I hate cheating in exams. I never asked from anybody, and I never told anybody anything. It was just it was just a personal principle. And so I'll tell God, I am being faithful. Be faithful in my life. Do you get? So I said that I also I just had that standard for myself. So I cannot say that anybody added nobody's extra half mark or 1 mark made my results.
Or nobody's whisper.
Exactly. I was like, all my results were just on my own. Because you could decide to even, some people might decide to even like talk to another person, and lecture will just catch them and just write -5. That -5 can let's get a B instead of instead of an A, basically. So there are just different reasons why students don't like come out with the expected grades they ought to.
Yeah, I think I just want to dwell on this just a little more. When something like that happens, you were saying we should analyze. No, we should. I'm not sure how it's school. Anyway,
but even in
people, higher studies actually. Yeah, you were saying people should analyze what the problem is. But after that, you were saying that sometimes things happen, life happens.
Yeah.
So please, I just want you to talk a little on that, because the person that came to me, life happened, but I was trying to like be an encouragement that, oh, please don't be too hard on yourself, because I think sometimes one can be in that stage so much that it might not be easy to move on. Okay. So please just talk on that.
I would say that I have an experience just like that. There's a particular semester. I did so well. I put in my best. I put in my very, very best, that when the results came out, in some results I didn't get as much as I wanted. Some things happened then that some people got awarded and all of that. So it pained me. I cried. Oh my God. I so cried. At that stage, I think I would always say that it's good that you have a confidence. At that stage, I could not speak to my parents because I know that, my friends were
just encouraged.
no, my parents. I know that I had an expectation of myself. Then I know that my parents also had an expectation of me. So I wasn't even ready to tell them that no, this happened and all of that. So I cried. I mean, it's okay to cry if you want to cry. I mean, I don't want to say that cry is part of life, but I mean, when things like that happen, just crying out. And then I had to also speak with my spiritual father then. And then I just told him, I explained everything. And I was like, I did my best. I worked hard. I feel like I was not at work. I feel like I was like the most hardworking and everything and all of that. And I just encouraged him and I was like, left for him that I like forgot my prize and all of that. So at that stage, I mean, I just left it. I just allowed it. So because I feel like even till now, I feel like there are even some things that happened. Then I feel like I was not recognized for, or there are certain things that I feel like no, I had put so much effort in that they weren't actually recognized. So it's just a matter of knowing that it's just part of life. For instance, there are certain things I have to just accept that no, these things are just part of life and they're just part of the story, and I just move on. And one of the things that I always do too is that when an exam is over, I forget about the exam. Because if you're not very careful, the exam, if you dwell on how the exam was, it would affect the way you're preparing for your next paper. So I just like to analyze, okay, what has happened? Can I correct it? If I cannot correct it, then I just leave it behind and I just move on. You get, for instance, I mean, for the type of course I said I couldn't like resolve. I mean, I would have done myself bad if I would say that I wanted to like hate the lecturer, because at the end of the day it should have been to my detriment, because I mean I wouldn't have understood any other of our courses. I would have not like been happy and all of that. So I just have to like just let it go. I forgive myself, right? And then I just know this was it has just passed. And another thing I also try to do is that I let the pain of the past spoil me for the future.
I can do better.
It's like saying yes. It's like you are pained, but then you now fuel. It's like a channeling the energy of that pain, the severity of that pain into you doing more. Like you saying that, okay, I might have gotten a D. So because of this pain, I'm going to now use that to like put in more effort, and in this next course, I'm going to try to get and pay as much as possible. So instead of just staying down, need to just just fuel that passion and say that yes, I'm going to like more or less like you saying that you want to like make up for what has actually happened. Then if you need to like speak out, please speak out. There was a time I felt depressed. That was in 2021. And I mean at that stage I just knew that I had to speak up. I just knew that I had to like speak to, and I spoke to 4 different people at that time. I can still remember them very well. So at that time, I mean, I was going to the library. I wasn't understanding anything. I was going to class. It was just like in class. I was listening. I wasn't understanding. Nothing was entering my head. So that's it. I knew that no, I didn't have a problem. So I just had to. I spoke with 4 people, and I mean, I was able to like really encourage myself again, and I just picked up myself, and I mean, I continued. So it's just there are times that I mean at the end of the day you just still need to just sit back and then still just feel your passion. And then I would also say that it's good to like graduate to the best grade possible. But even if you're unable to like graduate to the best grade possible, you need to still find how you're going to be successful despite whatever grade you have graduated with. Because it's good to graduate in first class, but in first class does not automatically guarantee life success. There are people who graduated with a third class and who like are doing so well. But the thing is that those type of people, they it's what just like what I said, it's like they fueled their pain into their success. So they're trying to say that okay, yes, even though I might have graduated with a third class. So I have to like make up for this that I have done. So they take extra courses, they go the extra mile, they try to like apply, they keep on applying, they try to like meet with people, they try to like gather more skills to themselves, and then they are able to like do better. Instead of just saying that no, I've graduated with a third class, and then I mean and there's no job in Nigeria, and they just like sit like that. There are so many people that are really doing it. And then sometimes it also makes you understand your strengths and your weaknesses. And it helps you know that oh no, I mean, if this was actually in place, this wouldn't have actually happened. And so sometimes it makes you really understand yourself more, and then it may even like channel you more in the light of purpose, because you feel like, oh, it means that this might actually not be my line. I think I'm more suited to this career. So I feel like at the end of the day, you just need to just encourage yourself and just pray too. I mean, when I'm down, my brother taught me something. He was like, when you're not happy, when things are not going well, instead of you just being not happy or being angry, go to God's presence and cry. Like, just channel that experience. Just tell God and just be vulnerable. God, this is happening. Like, the tiniest thing, just tell God, God, this is happening. I don't know why this is happening, but I just want you to come and help me. And I mean, God will. I feel like, I mean, these are some of the things that have actually like helped me.